Hello everyone, my name is Christian Wheeler. I'm the main programmer on Contained, and I wanted to do a quick little overview of our narrative system that we designed for this project. So if I go and press start here, you'll see that we get a display text here that says notification received, as well as a button that says read. So this is populated through a scriptable object which we call rooms. So if I go over to room navigation here and I look at our current room, which is the starting room, and the scriptable object has a description, which is what is populated in the display text, as well as some exit buttons. These are the buttons that appear here, and they're going to be what take you to the next room as assigned by the value room. So if I was to click on read, I would go to the first notification, and if I click this and go over here, we can see what should populate is unknown number, hey, you're running out of time, better get on that terminal, and two additional buttons, one that says who are you and one that says check terminal. So if I go in and press read, we should see that that does begin to appear on the screen here, which is great. So the way that system works is inside of the canvas, we have a content container which holds the display text, which is what is being pulled from the description of the room, and a button container which holds the exit buttons of that room as well. And so we can see those two prefabs being put right there. So the way this works is within the game controller, all this information is controlled. So we have the display text, the button container, the content container, as well as the prefabs for the button and the button container. And then we have the room navigation system, which allows us to know which room we're currently on, as well as which chapter. I'll talk about chapters in a second here, as well as some basic information like the starting chapter, the starting room, the credits chapter, and the credits room. This is information that I pull later on in the game. And so if we actually go ahead and, well, let's take a look at the chapters. So if I go over to a chapter is a scriptable object that holds information about the rooms. So we can see here in chapter 1 there are 21 rooms, or like 21 screens that we go through, and we can actually edit the information of those rooms within the chapter. So it's really nice and easy to move stuff around, change which rooms the buttons go to. And so if I continue and I click check terminal, we can see where it would go to here, check terminal. This has 5 buttons six buttons that get populated here, and then we have the display text, and we're able to move through the system. So the way this works, if we go and take a look at the script here, and we start with room navigation, it is going through the current room that we're on, which is being assigned right here. So the current room and the current chapter, which is equal to our, so this is setting our current chapter to chapter, and our current room, if it's not the starting room or at index 1. And so these are being stored, and then what we're doing is we're getting that information, so we're getting the current room and the length of exits, and we're iterating through that to find the amount of buttons that we need to put into the button container. And then we are going to create those exit buttons within the controller. So if we go to the controller, scroll down a little bit here, and right here, create exit button. It's going to go through, it's going to instantiate those buttons, it's going to add the button text as well as a listener to see when it's been clicked. So all this information is going to be added directly onto the prefab, and then it just populates directly into the canvas. So it's a really easy system, easy to just change the information inside of the scriptable object. It all is calculated within the game controller and the room navigation, and then you're easily able to move between the rooms. In addition, some rooms, so like if I continue here and go to administrative access level 1, and then I go to the password, which I get through the logs, there's a button, an exit button called Restart Reactor. So this one has a bit of a special quality to it. So if I go to Administrative Access and then Restart Reactor, we can see here that it has this boolean here called load puzzle scene. So this allows you to exit out of the room loop that I've kind of created here, where you're moving from room to room to room, to a traditional scene workflow. So if I click on this boolean, load puzzle scene, it will then ask for the puzzle scene name, and then inside of the game controller, when we click the button, it will look to see if the next room has the load puzzle scene boolean, then we're going to load that scene. And like I said, it allows us to exit out of the current loop of moving between rooms to a traditional scene workflow. So if I go and click this, now I'm on my sequence puzzle 1 here, and I would be able to interact with this like it's a traditional puzzle. And so this is a really robust and modular system that I'm very proud of. And the way that my team ended up incorporating it is we would work in Harlow, Twine Harlow, to create our outline of what the story would look like. And then I would bring that information in and assign each of the nodes a room. So I was very easily able to copy the information from the nodes into the rooms and then order them based off of my chapter, and then just push that chapter into the room navigation system, and it would grab the current room and populate the canvas accordingly. So then we were able to easily move through the sequence of the story with this system, and it's very much easily expandable as well. You just add more rooms, add more chapters, and it's nearly infinite. You can create a huge story. We only had about 3 weeks, so we created quite a few small story with only a few puzzles. But the potential of this system could definitely go much further beyond. So I'm very proud of this system that I was able to create, and so I just wanted to take an opportunity to showcase it.